Hey gang, I'm talking about truthfulness, satya, embodying the qualities of truthfulness. Okay, if you're going to join me on this journey, which I really highly encourage you to do, there are 4 rules. Before you share something or express yourself, you want to think about 4 questions. Number 1, is it true? Obviously, right? Number 2, is it useful? Number 3, is it necessary? And number 4, is it kind? Ask yourself those questions before sharing, and then let's go for it. So I want to share with you something that's been on my mind since a friend has asked me this question. And the question was, how do I bring myself back from an anxiety trip quickly? And I haven't always been like this. I haven't always had the ability to bring myself back from an anxiety trip quickly. Sometimes it would last for days, weeks, and maybe even a year. I'm thinking very specifically about one story that I'll share with you that I've never shared publicly before. So it's a little vulnerable for me, but I'm going to go for it because I'm committed to being truthful. And in the spirit of answering those 4 questions that I shared with you in the beginning of this video. So I get a lot of questions about what I did with my survivor winnings. And now I'm going to share with you what I did. I invested the money in a wellness center in Santa Monica, in kind of an affluent neighborhood there. And the space was incredibly expensive. Yeah, it was over $10,000 a month in rent. And then we did all these improvements to the space, and we bought all the equipment. So we had Pilates, yoga, personal training. I taught trampoline classes and boxing and boot camp. So we did a lot, right? And I started it up with my best friend and business partner at the time. And the reason why I started that business wasn't because I was just dying to own a wellness center. It wasn't because I really wanted to invest in a spa / personal fitness space. It was because I wanted people to take me seriously. I wanted people to think of me differently than they thought of me as a reality television star or a boxer or a waitress, right? Because before that, I hadn't really done anything that I considered to be really valuable or useful in the world, based on other people's perceptions, right? So I invested all of my money and attention and energy and time and sweat and literally blood and tears into this place. I poured my heart and soul into it, and I hated it. I hated it. I hated going into the same building day in and day out. I hated waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go meet a client. I liked teaching. I liked working with clients, but I hated running the building aspect of the business. I hated marketing. I hated advertising. I hated cleaning the space, doing all the laundry. I had to do all of this stuff, right, in addition to teaching. So I didn't want to do that anymore. And yet, here I was in this predicament of, I want people to take me seriously. So what do I do? I mean, I'm going around town telling people I'm a business owner, telling people about this magnificent business that I've created, and it's beautiful. The building, the space was gorgeous after we were done with it, but I hated it. Every day I wake up thinking, do I have to? Could I just cancel on this client? It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if I was sick, right? And just didn't show up. So I ended up starting to do that. I would skip out on things that I had committed to doing. And every time I skipped out on something that I committed to doing, I felt even worse about myself. But I didn't know how to get out of it. I was stuck in this trap of people pleasing, this trap of wanting people to look at me like I was a serious person. I wanted people to take me seriously and to think I was valuable and to think that I was doing something really incredible in the world. And God, like, if I stopped running this business, then what? Then who would I be? Then I would just be a girl who won Survivor who was a failed businesswoman, right? Like, oh man, I'm trapped. I completely trapped myself. I woke up every morning with the weight of the world on my chest. It did. It felt like an elephant was sitting on my chest. And it was horrible. Until one day, after I came back from Around the World for Free, a show that I hosted that I'll talk with you guys about in a different video, and my wrist was broken, and I couldn't do the things that I was doing before. So I was caught. I had to, it was like God doing for me what I can't do for myself, right? If you don't like the word God, but the universe shutting the door in your face, right? Like, you can't keep this up. You physically don't have the capacity to keep doing this. So I had to stop. I worked really hard to sell the business. I sold it at a major loss. And then I was free from that business. But I still hadn't untangled myself from the reason why I had gotten so deep in to that stressful situation, right? The people pleasing. And trust me, this is a big one. So we're going to talk about it a lot over the course of this Satya truthfulness journey over the course of this year, because I am a recovering people pleaser. And I imagine some of you are too. I imagine some of you are doing things that you really don't want to do just because you think other people will think you're cool, or think you're smart, or think you're, I don't know, great, intelligent, capable, strong, whatever. But you're not doing them because you want to be doing those things. You're doing them to impress other people, or to make them like you, or you think it'll make them happy. So I am here to tell you that whenever you do things that you don't want to do because you think someone else will see you differently or look at you differently, that's manipulative, and guess what? It's always going to backfire. And at some point, you're going to have to stop and make a change and start doing things for you. And if you can start doing that now, if that's the number one thing that you do this year, is you commit to serving, moving forward from a desire of what you want to do, from what your heart is telling you to do, and stop people pleasing, say no to the things that you don't want to do if you don't want to do them, your whole life will change. I guarantee that. Take it from me, a recovering people pleaser. Sometimes I get stuck still, but for the most part, I can say no. I say no to the things I don't want to do. I commit to the things that I do, and life is so much sweeter. Okay, I hear my baby, so I gotta go. But I hope this video helped you guys in some way. And if it did, please subscribe, because we're gonna be journeying throughout this whole year. And I'm gonna be sharing things with you that I hope will help you out. And if you think this could help someone else in your life, send them the video. All right, see you later.